So I'd say for nearly the past 2 years or so, almost I'd say a full 2 years, I've been really thinking a lot about how most people go through life. Allow me to explain. Most people today are generally unhappy with, where they're at, or at least not as happy as, they should be. And, whether this is due to current relationships with, friends and family, it could be, their appearance, it could be their health, or most commonly, it's because of their current work position, or rather what it is that they do for a living. Most people are just unhappy with what it is that they do. They're not passionate about what they do. They hate their job, they hate, their coworkers, they hate their boss, whatever the case may be. They wake up every morning and they think, damn, it's another day of this shit? Really? Why this again? This all over again? They know they want more out of life. They know that, they want more free time. Maybe they want more money. Maybe they're just looking to do something completely different. However, very few of these people actually manage to change their situation. Very few people manage to change what it is that they do or change their life in just about any aspect, really. And I've been really thinking about this a lot lately, and, I started to wonder, why is this? And I thought about it for a while, and I realized most people are in the position that they're in because they are comfortable. That's right. And that's essentially what this topic is going to be all about. That's essentially what I wanted to talk about in this video, is the comfort zone, and why I feel that it is very important to step out of your comfort zone. In my opinion, it's almost a requirement if you want to live a happy life in the long term. But anyways, before I really get into things, if you are tuning into this live, be sure to let me know who you are and where you are tuning in from. And also, if you are catching this on a replay, be sure to put a hashtag replay down in the comments below. Anyways, I really wanted to talk about this because I feel that it's a very important topic to discuss with whatever it is that you're going for, or whatever it is that you desire to have in your life. And there are a few reasons as to why I believe that it is, very important to get out of your comfort zone. But generally speaking, I feel that it essentially is the key to long-term happiness, which actually I kind of mentioned earlier. But anyways, yeah, most people, they go through life and they, essentially they're in this work position, or whatever else the case may be on as to why they're unhappy. And it's their day is essentially almost kind of like that same cycle. They're sick of this, doing the same old thing, and they want something different. They want things to change. They want a different experience altogether. And as I mentioned, very few people manage to actually change their situation because they are comfortable in their position. As much as people like to talk about how much they hate their job, or they hate their boss or their coworkers, most people are not motivated enough to change their position, because once they punch the clock and they get out of work, then it's like, all right, time to relax, time for to chill for a bit. Let's just relax. Let's calm down, and then I guess I'll just wake up again, and I guess I'll just keep doing the thing. And this, in my opinion, is definitely going through that cycle. I'm sure we've all been there to some extent. At some point we've all been there. Maybe some of us are currently in that cycle right now, and some of us may hate the position more than others. But anyways, I feel that it is very important to really consider getting out of your comfort zone and doing different things, because getting out of your comfort zone, I believe, is the key to long-term happiness. So I really wanted to get into 4 other reasons that I have down here. What's up, Tamira? Just seeing you tuned in now. I have 4 very important reasons as to why you should step out of your comfort zone. And when I say step out of your comfort zone, I'm talking about doing things that you are, at first afraid of doing, things that you have not done before. And essentially why I believe that you should do this on a rather consistent basis, whether it's once a week, once a month, or at least, every now and then you do something different and you change things up a bit. Because by doing this, for one, it opens you up to new opportunities. You see, many people, they feel that, there's very little to no opportunities for them to grow or, to change any, and their situation in general. And this is because a lot of these people are closed-minded, essentially, is that they don't feel like there is, other opportunities out there or other ways of changing their position, because they think that with where they're at, that's just how it is. And this, I believe, is, it's a sign of being closed-minded. And the first step is, of course, being more open-minded and essentially, trying things that are different, whether it's learning about something that you haven't done before, or, essentially just doing something different in general. It essentially opens you up to new opportunities. And the second reason is that it leaves you with fewer regrets. So most people at the end of their life, they go through all their life, doing the same thing over and over again. It's this ultimate, endless cycle of madness, essentially. And most people, when they get to that age, like an older age, then they kind of look back and they think, if only I had more time to do this, if only I had, more opportunities to, support the family better, or, more time to, travel the world and, go to all these different places and try new things. And the sad thing is that most people today, they're stuck in their current position that they're in, a position that they don't like, and it's taking up all their time, in terms of what it is that they could do, like outside, and have more, essentially have more options. Essentially, it kind of limits you when you just decide to stick with that comfort zone. You kind of limit yourself in the long run. So that's really the second reason why you want to step out of your comfort zone more often, is because it leaves you with fewer regrets in the long run. The third reason is that it allows you to grow and learn new things about yourself. So this, I'd say, is probably one of the biggest reasons, that it allows you to, think of it kind of like a rubber band, right? You first, you have it, you're holding it in your hand. I don't have a rubber. I probably should have had a rubber band with me to kind of, show as an example. But, you got a rubber band, and then, you kind of stretch it a bit. And that's essentially like, at first it might hurt to stretch a bit, kind of like, when you're doing something new, it will seem scary at first. But then, as you continue to, try new things and you experience, new things, then essentially it allows you to grow, and then you could, of course, learn new things. And oftentimes, when you try something new, that new thing that you try, it might end up being something that you end up enjoying. And when you continue to focus on that, then it can start to, it could eventually lead into, something that you are, passionate about. It could lead you to essentially more opportunities, and it could, ultimately lead you to a better life in general. But yeah, that really allows you to grow and learn new things about yourself. And the fourth reason is that it inspires others to do the same. So have you ever heard the phrase, you are the average of, the 4 or 5 people you hang around with? I'm sure, you've likely heard that, where, if you hang around 5 people that are constantly miserable, you're likely going to be, like, if you hang around 4 people that are, like, miserable all the time, guess who's going to be the 5th? You know what I mean? So if you could choose to experience new things and, get out of your comfort zone, and, say that you end up, getting a much, better opportunity, and you are in a much, better position because of it, and that you show other people that, hey, look, this is something that I've tried, something completely new, and then you could, of course, inspire others around you to do the same. So those are really my 4 reasons why I believe that stepping out of your comfort zone is very important. And I'd say this topic for me mainly came from entrepreneurship, really. I got involved in entrepreneurship back in May of 2017, so it's almost been about 2 years now when I got into this. And the reason I got into this is because, well, I was sick of just, having to give up my time and work a position that, I didn't necessarily enjoy doing. And, I seen the lifestyle that is possible with, creating an online business, and, essentially it's allowing people to have more free time and, a much bigger earning potential, and then you can essentially work on your own time and, be able to essentially create your own life around what it is that you want to do. And I seen that, and I'm like, you know what, this is exactly what I want. And at the time, I didn't have, really any experience with building an online business prior. I didn't have any experience with building websites. I didn't have any experience with, creating content that is, related to helping people solve a specific problem. I essentially got into this, around that time, with no prior knowledge, and I just decided to start learning and implementing new things. And that is essentially the, once I started getting into that, I started, kind of thinking more about how most people, how they go through life, they feel unhappy for the most part because, they don't necessarily enjoy what it is that they do. And I think a huge part of that is because, most people, they apply for whatever job they're looking for, specifically for the money alone. And I don't think that's really the reason why you should ever go for something. You should always, in the beginning, up front, it's great, when you're first looking for, a way to, pay the bills and stuff. I think that's definitely important to begin with. But in the long run, you also want to be working on your passion and essentially, learning new things every day. And this is what allows you to, create the life you want and have much more happiness in long term, is by learning new things every day and implementing new things every day. And if you do that on a consistent basis, then I can pretty much guarantee that you are going to be much happier in the long run. You're going to have less regrets. You're going to have more opportunities. It's going to allow you to grow and learn new things about yourself. And ultimately, it will inspire those around you to do the same. So anyways, that's really the message I wanted to put out there. Hopefully you got value out of this. If you did, be sure to let me know down below. Let me know what you thought of this. And of course, if you enjoyed, feel free to also share this around with, a few of your friends, or if you are, if you have like a fan page or something where you have an audience and you feel like they'd get value out of this, be sure to share this with them as well. Anyways, really hope you enjoyed, and take care.